You did everything right. You got a decent job, you saved money, you avoided unnecessary spending. You were responsible. And then one day, you open a real estate app and the house you thought you'd own by 35 is now $900,000. And for a second, it doesn't make sense because nothing about your effort changed. You didn't fall behind. The math just stopped working. And that's the part nobody really explains. Because right now in Canada, a lot of people feel like they're doing everything right and still getting nowhere. Not because they're bad with money, not because they didn't try hard enough, but because the system around them shifted. And once you understand what actually changed, this starts to make a lot more sense. My name is Sai. I spend a lot of time understanding how money, housing, and investing actually work in Canada, so you don't have to figure it out alone. And real quick, this is just to help you understand how things work, not financial advice. If you're making a big money decision, it's always worth talking to a professional. All right, let's get into it. So here's the question a lot of people are asking right now. Why does buying a house in Canada feel so impossible? And the answer is, it's not just one thing. It's multiple forces hitting at the same time. Let's start with the obvious one, prices. The average home price in Canada crossed around $700,000. And in cities like Toronto or Vancouver, you're easily looking at $1 million for something basic. But here's what most people don't realize. This didn't happen slowly. A huge part of this increase happened in just a few years, especially between 2020 and 2022. Think of it like a train. For years, it was moving at a normal speed. Then suddenly, someone hit the accelerator. Interest rates dropped, money became cheap, people rushed to buy. Demand exploded, and supply couldn't keep up. So prices shot up faster than incomes ever could. Then interest rates went up, quickly, and the train hit the brakes. But here's the confusing part. Prices didn't go back down to where they were. They just stopped rising as fast. So now you have this situation where people who couldn't afford homes before still can't afford them now. Except now, borrowing money is more expensive too. That's the trap. Now, let's talk about the part that really hits hard, the down payment. On a $900,000 home, you're looking at around $65,000 minimum. And if the price crosses $1 million, that jumps to $200,000, cash, up front. Now think about that for a second. How long does it take to save $65,000 while paying rent, buying groceries, and just living your life? And here's where it gets psychological. There's something called the goal gradient effect. When a goal feels close, you stay motivated, you move faster. But when the goal keeps moving further away, your brain slowly disengages. You save $10,000 and the price jumps $50,000. At some point, it stops feeling possible. And when something doesn't feel possible, you stop trying. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is wired that way. And that's why this isn't just a financial problem. It's an emotional one. Now, even if you somehow manage to save the down payment, there's another hurdle, the stress test. In Canada, you don't just qualify based on your actual rate. You have to qualify at a higher rate. So if your mortgage rate is 5.5%, you're tested closer to 7.5%. And that one rule eliminates a huge number of buyers. It's designed to protect you, but it also means a lot of responsible people get told not yet. I'm curious, what's been the biggest obstacle for you? The down payment, the stress test, prices in your city? Let me know in the comments. Now, here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Canada is growing fast. More people are moving here every year, and most of them are moving into the same cities: Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa. But we're not building homes fast enough. So what happens? More demand, same supply. Prices go up. It's simple. And the frustrating part is this doesn't get fixed quickly. Building homes takes years, so the pressure stays. Now here's the part that hits the hardest. watching other people buy homes. Friends, family, people your age. And suddenly you feel like you're behind, like you missed something, like everyone else figured it out except you. This is social comparison. And in Canada, home ownership isn't just financial, it's identity. It's the milestone that says, I made it, I'm stable. So when that milestone feels out of reach, it doesn't just affect your money, it affects how you see yourself. And this is where people make risky decisions. They rush, they overextend, they take on more than they should. Not because it makes sense, but because it feels like they have to. So what do you actually do? First, reframe the timeline. You don't need to own a home by a certain age. That's not a financial rule. It's a cultural expectation. Second, if you're saving, use the right tools. The FHSA is one of the most powerful tools in Canada right now. You get a tax deduction going in and tax-free growth when you withdraw. That combination is rare. Third, understand your real number. Not just the home price, the total cost. Property tax, maintenance, monthly payments. Because qualifying and living comfortably are not the same thing. And fourth, don't let fear rush you. Markets change, rates change, but a bad decision stays with you for years. The housing market didn't become unaffordable because people stopped working hard. It became complicated because multiple systems collided. Interest rates, population growth, supply constraints, all at once. So if you feel stuck, you're not alone. You're navigating a genuinely difficult system. And the most important decision right now isn't deciding whether to buy or rent. It's making sure fear doesn't make the decision for you. Because the people who come out ahead won't be the ones who moved the fastest. They'll be the ones who understood what was happening, stayed patient, and made decisions based on reality. Not pressure, not comparison, not someone else's timeline. If you want simple, clear explanations like this around money and investing in Canada, consider subscribing. I'm Sai. I'll see you in the next one.